Hi, my name is Paul Massa, and today I'm going to be going over everything I've learned in the communication, speaking, and listening class, and how it's changed me from before I took the class to after and now, and everything I've learned about communicating and how it's made me a better person and communicator. The first thing I want to start with is the most important communication skills I've learned this semester, and how it's honestly made me a better person and communicator. Communication is important because it helps you understand like how relationships are built and what needs to be built for a relationship and how to maintain one. Another thing that I never thought too much about before coming into this semester was how culture influences the way people communicate. For example, the United States, in America, we communicate very directly. We tell people what we want. We are just straight to it, straight to the point, and sometimes that could come across as rude. And in other countries like Asia and Korea, I did a McDonald's project on Korea and South Korea in specific. And people there, they rely heavily on tone and context to communicate. It's not as direct, and it avoids a lot of conflict. Something else that I learned coming into the semester is nonverbal communication, like body language and tone, is super important when you're talking to someone because some people are just nonverbal communicators, and you got to understand where they're coming from, how they feel. You pick up on things very easily, and I feel like I've just grown so much better as a communicator by understanding that and learning how to communicate with them. Definitely coming into the semester, one of the most important things that I've learned is strong speeches require a lot of preparation, research, and organization. You have to know what you're talking about. You have to plan, and you have to be working on a specific thing for a lot of hours just to even do decent on a presentation. Another thing that I never thought too deeply about before this semester in communication class is understanding who your audience is. It improves the communication effectiveness and how you could present to people in a timely manner, and where you have charisma and a good overall vibe of the presentation. Next, I really want to go over some presenting tips I've learned. First and foremost, establishing credibility so early on is one of the major roles in presenting. I've learned some little tips like showing your hands. It always makes you a more trustworthy person. Right now, the camera isn't set up for my hands, but I promise I am a trustworthy person. And once you earn your audience's trust, they start to believe everything you say, and they start to buy into it, and they start to be really interested in what you're saying. Another real thing that I learned, it's much easier in person than on camera like I'm doing right now, but maintaining eye contact to stay connected with your audience, it keeps the audience more lively and more active, and it's very helpful and effective when you're presenting. One of the hardest things I struggled with this semester was managing your time while presenting, because once you get up there, your mind kind of draws a blank, and you kind of forget what you're saying, and either you're speaking too fast or you're speaking too slow. Timing was a very hard thing to overcome this semester while you're presenting. Another thing that benefited me this semester was learning to not read from a script and just honestly note and studying what you're reading about and talking about. It gains the audience's trust, and they buy into what you're saying so much more. This semester really taught me how to be an active listener and keep the conversations going. There are some group activities in class that we did, and it was really effective because I know how to keep a conversation going and never let the conversation die out. I know how to keep everyone entertained by the conversation, and also make them an active listener as well. Also, active listening is never easy. It requires full attention, your full body focus on them. Nonverbal cues, they play a major role in being an active listener and communicating with everybody. It plays a major role with everybody you communicate. One of the things I want to continue working on is being an active listener all the time. There are times where I'll wake up in the morning, and for the first hour and a half, I'm not really listening to what people are saying, but I try to keep the conversation going. And that was one of the things that I was struggling with coming into the class. Honestly, after taking the class, I feel like I'm much better with that. I can always be an active listener without even trying. This class really helped me work on my communication skills and always be ready to talk. The communication skills I've learned in this class will help me build stronger relationships with everyone around me, friends, family, even my higher ups in my job place. It'll definitely help me work my way up for the rest of my life. Any job, I'll know how to communicate with my boss, anybody I'm talking to, any coworker. And it's really good to be a well-spoken person, which I'm working on every day. But this class was definitely a step in the right direction for this. that's all I had to say about this class for the year. Thank you so much for listening. Thank you for taking your time to watch this video, and I really hope that people who ever take this class in the future will really enjoy it. And that's everything that I've worked on in this class from before to now, and I'm a much better communicator now, I feel like. Thank you.